Hi everyone, this is Kyle with kayDbait. I wanted to make a video. I just finished my last one. I wanted to make a video on Venezuela again. I've mentioned this before. Venezuela is potentially on the brink of civil war. It's potentially going to be the military with the president versus pretty much their Congress and Senate and the people fighting. And there's always going to be splinters of everything, the people that are supporting or the military that's defecting, and it's going to be potentially a very big thing that happens. And we see civil war constantly. We even had one in the United States before. Civil war it can be a good thing if the uprising of the people are just and the outcome is the betterment of the entities that are fighting. Not the eradication of their enemies, not the conquest of their desires and their greed. I'm talking about the moral arguments, the moral progress that civil war could potentially bring, but that's not what I'm talking about. That is a very big issue that needs to be talked about as well. Who's in the right, who's in the wrong, why, what should we do? That's something else. I'm talking about the people. I have a friend, he's my best friend, he lives in Venezuela, and I am worried every day for his safety. And this isn't an emotional video, it's not supposed to be, but I care very deeply about him, and his safety it's one of my prime concerns right now. I have my brother I'm taking care of, I have myself I'm taking care of, and there's other people in my life that I do worry about sometimes, but he's always there because his situation is so precarious. His situation, and it's not even just that. He hides it from me. He doesn't want me to worry because he knows I worry. He knows that I look into every time I see an article that says Venezuela, I try to read it, or I try to watch whatever it is so I can understand the situation. And I know the media is not going to be 100% clear on a lot of things, but recently there's been a lot of messed up stuff happening, and it's always been known as a very corrupt country, a very corrupt government, a very corrupt everything there. And that's not the issue. His desire to protect me somehow supersedes his desire to protect himself, I guess, because it's not that he's sacrificing himself to protect me. It's that he's trying to protect me from helping him in some way. Maybe it was just he didn't know that I was offering help. Maybe he didn't know, I wasn't clear. Had I known a year ago that he wasn't eating, had I known 2 years ago, before I even met him, had I known him, what would I have done? He doesn't know, I don't know. But the second I found out he didn't have food, that he was literally going days without eating because they didn't have anything, not because he didn't necessarily have the money, but because he was trying to save the money because they had so little of it, in the long lines, that 5-hour wait for food, and so the little amount of money they had to spend on their rent and stuff. So when I did find out about it, I sent them over some money. He never asked, and he tried to fight me on it. So I'm not. I'm aware that making somebody a charity case against their will is, again, an immoral thing to do. You have to consider the options of the pros and cons, I mean. But he begrudgingly accepted under the conditions of he would do something for me in return, and blah blah blah. And I don't care about that at all. It was the only thing I can do to get him to agree to accept the money, so I did. And he told me later, and I've mentioned this before, he told me later that I might have saved them. And I didn't save them. He's still there. His family is still there. And they're living precariously on the hope that things get better. And they don't look like they are. And I told him, you have to prepare that if something happens, that you get out. Because if civil war erupts, his family is in danger. He is in danger. And I was so worried about accidentally strong-arming him into something by saying, you have to do this because your family is in danger. Because himself, he doesn't care about himself as much as he cares about his family. His family is the reason he's there. His family is the reason he works so hard. He won't do something to save himself if his family suffers. So I can't say, do this for your family. That's not right. That would be me manipulating him, because I know how much he cares about them. I can't do that. But at the same time, he's still there, and he's I don't know how adamant he is about staying in Venezuela. I don't know how. I know it's very, very high, but the motivators for it are vague right now for me. It appears to be that it would take too much time, that his family would be damaged in at least in the short run of sacrificing everything they have now to go to another country and rebuild. And I understand that, and I want to articulate it properly to him that the fear he has is legitimate. There are dangers of going to another country. There are hardships to sacrificing. Sacrifices have to be made for the change to occur. And what he wants to do is to stay, because one, it's easier, and two, to give up everything you've ever known is already a monumental literally life-altering thing. And you activating it, you instigating it, or whatever you want to say, you doing it puts it on you. But not taking steps to better your life is also on you. So one just feels more personal. One just feels more like you did it as opposed to you not fixing it. And it's been worrying me quite a lot lately, more and more, especially when he tells me about things that I don't think he understands that I'm listening to as deeply as I am. That he commented, I'm not going to go into specifics, but he mentioned something bad happening. And the reason it happened was because of the situation he's in. And the whole thing, he relies on luck so much. And he relies on not the kindness of strangers, but that strangers, he relies on other people, that if they were to stop, his family would suffer greatly. And that I don't see a plan that he has besides that. He might, that he's not telling me about, but I've asked him, and he says it's okay, don't worry about it. And I know that is him trying to protect me from worry. He's got a plan, but I don't think he does. And I think he shouldn't have to put up with that. I mean, me pushing it is going to mess him up as well if I keep doing that. But because he's not the person that is in charge of his household. His mom is, and his grandma is, and he's not the only one there. It's not just his life. So me putting pressure on him to put pressure on them is wrong. Me putting pressure on him at all is wrong, but it requires the understanding of pros and cons. Am I willing to push him to the point of hating me as long as he survives? And me pushing him to push them so that they survive. And there's so much more to this. There's so much going on that he shouldn't have to. No one in Venezuela, besides the people that started all of this, deserve to be in that situation. They're victims. There are people that they're out for themselves because the situation is bad. He's not. He's out for his family. Like, that sounds kind of bad. He's like, oh, he's out for his family. But no, his entire motivation is to make sure his family is taken care of. And he is too young for that to happen. He's 19. And when I was 19, I was in college, and I was like, oh, this is all okay. And then, stuff fell apart later. But he's struggling to survive at 19 years old. And he has been for years, before I ever met him. And I know Venezuela recently started hitting this horrible negative stuff, but it's always been on that weird line of things are getting worse, but it'll probably get better soon, and it never came. It just got worse and worse. And it got way worse when the oil crashed, but that's really what the crux of it is, when oil prices fell through the floor. But that's not his fault. He can't and should not be hurt because of something like this. And I know you're a victim of your situations, your location. I could have been born there. He could have been born here, and things would have been different. But I look at this, and I was talking to him earlier, and we had an argument, and it didn't go well, but I think I upset him. And I'm sure I upset him, but it wasn't because of what I said. It was the fact that it was too much. It was too many. What are you going to do? Your situation is bad, and him just saying, yes, it's bad. I know it's bad. He lives in it. I don't. So me saying it's bad doesn't help. It doesn't clarify anything. It's just the person screaming in the building saying it's on fire, it's on fire. Well, yeah, it's on fire. What am I doing? Just making people worried. But I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to help him. I've offered many different things. I've tried to talk to him about it, and he's accepted some things, and he's declined others, and it's fine. But I had a conversation with him. This is what I was going to say. I had a conversation with him, and the thing that I came to realize when I was talking to him was it's not that I want to help him. I want to help everyone. And he's the only one that I've talked to, that I've been able to say, hey, you're in a bad situation. Maybe we can try something to make it better. And he's actually listened for some things. And his life has gotten better. And I want to be able to do that with everyone, but I can't. I don't have the resources, and I don't have the knowledge, and I don't have the motivation to go up and say, hey, to put myself out there more, and to rally or to start a thing. And because I fear doing the wrong thing, or I fear getting in the way of something else, or wasting my time, and it's the me ego or whatever. And it's really hard to say I want to save all these people, and I'm not, because it hurts. It's this stupid empathy is the most wonderful thing, but when you see suffering on that scale of millions of people around the world, just billions of people that have less than I do for no reason. I mean, I'm poor, but I'm still happy I have more than I need, because here in the United States, where I am right now, rent is low, food is cheap, and I'm fat. I'm overweight slightly. I've been losing weight, but when I have to lose weight because I eat too much, and that's one of my problems, compared to somebody that's starving, that works so harder than I do, and they don't have even a tenth of what I do. That's not fair. I want to help all of them, and I don't know how. I don't know. And I know that I can volunteer. I'm already volunteering, and it's not enough. So, I mean, I'm not going to be able to save the world. I'm just a step. I hope that their world gets better. That all of them, everyone, it's an eventuality. We either all die or we all don't. But on an individual scale, it doesn't matter, and that worries me because he might just sacrifice himself, his entire life, just for his family, which is noble. It's a noble thing, and I can't ever criticize him for that. But I don't want him to. No one should have to. So the government messed everything up. The people suffer, and my friend might die. His family might die, just because of where they were born. And it happens. It has happened. It will happen to others, and it's really like it's messed up for me to say that I should fight for him and not others, and that his life is somehow more important than others' lives, and I don't think that's true. I don't believe that his life is more important than Joe, whatever, from somewhere else. I don't believe that, but I know him and I care about him, and I think that he is a righteous person. He is a person that, even though he's younger than me, has dealt with things better than I ever could. He is a better, not in every way. He has his faults, but I have my own faults, and I think that his are much more forgivable. Like I'm naturally argumentative. I'm naturally manipulative. I don't like those about myself, and I've fought my entire life not to be that way. He has like self-defeating problems. He has his self-esteem problems. He has this browbeaten, I'm not good enough mentality that he needs to work on. That is so different and so more. He's naturally empathetic as well. He understands things better than I do in a lot of ways, and he doesn't deserve this kind of suffering. Nobody does. And when I see somebody who's so talented and who's so giving, and like he has trust issues because Venezuela is a very dangerous place and you have to have that. Otherwise you'll get robbed or scammed or hurt. And so he has that as just a natural, his environment showed him to be that way for survival. But when he's not like that, when he's not on the defensive because of danger, he is so giving. He gives all of his time to others, all of his consideration to others. That's the whole reason he's there, is because of his family. And I don't know how far that extends outside of his family, but I know he holds his friends to the same degree. I know he is willing to try for others, just because it's a good thing to do, just because it's a nice thing to do. That's empathy, that's benevolence, that's generosity. So I know him. I've known him for over a year. I've talked to him extensively a lot because I've been trying. This is over the course of it. It's more than a year, and his situation has not gotten better. His situation has gotten significantly worse, except for that one thing, which is money. His money has gotten more stable, a little bit. They eat food now, as opposed to not, which is good. But there's still like massive rationings and resources have been getting more scarce. So the resources have been going down. His money is fine now a little bit, but he can't spend it on much. If the things that he can spend it on are very expensive, so it doesn't go as far. And he's buying stuff for 4 people and I think 3 animals. So it's not. If he went on his own, he would be fine financially. But he's not. He's sacrificing all of his time and energy to care for his family. So it's just this big, complicated, unfair situation that made me for a long time question benevolence within the world. The whole Donald Trump thing is one thing. Is like some people are stupid because of X, Y, and Z. But there's the people that they look at this government that's just destroyed their country, and they're just whatever. They don't care. And I try to word it in a way that's not begging, it's not pleading or whining about, we need to save the world. We're better than this. And there's no way to really word it properly, because no matter who he is or his family, they don't deserve this. They don't deserve to be treated as just nothing, because the government doesn't care. The government is arguing with itself. The government is just, I want power, you want power, I'm not going to give it to you, I'm going to destroy everything. And it's a back and forth of resource destruction, because it's there. The resources are there. They just took it all. They embezzled it away and corrupted it away. And then the people have died, lots of people. And whether they're my friend or whether they're a stranger or even an enemy, I don't want them to suffer like that, because it's not fair. And this whole thing is just this whole thing of talking about Venezuela like this, it's my friend from Venezuela. It's my friend who could tomorrow die just because of stupid stuff in it's preventable. It's all preventable, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do, so I make these videos. And it's really kind of funny to see the contrast of, I'm complaining about how bad his life is and how that bad life affects me. And that's how disconnected it is. I know that his life isn't all bad. I know that. He laughs sometimes. He has time to himself. He has all the things that normal people do. He's not like abnormal in that way, but on the back of his mind, I know that it's there as well. My worry for him and his worry for his family, because he knows it's not good, that situation and his environment. He knows, and there's not, just like me, who wants to do more and isn't sure how. What can he do? And I know that that's there for him. What can he do? So, what do I do to help him with his what does he? It's the stupid, do I push? Do I manipulate him to do what I think is best for his family? And that's not something I would ever do. Not without explaining to him what I'm trying to do. I don't ever push without explaining to them that I'm pushing. And it's like, you have to do this, you should do that. Why? It's like, because this, and this. That's what I do. I always reiterate, I always over-explain. I don't do that stupid, oh, so-and-so was talking about you, and then go off and do what you want because they're mad at them and pick at people. I hate that. But I'm going to end the video because I can't really say much more without getting all stupid. So, this is a very important conversation that I've been having with myself in my head for a long time, ever since I found out his situations a long time ago. And again, this is somebody that I talk to regularly. I video chat with them regularly, or I used to anyway. And he has never asked me for anything, ever. When I was saying I'm going to send you money, he wouldn't give me any form of a way to pay him But since he has art commissions opened, I found it and just sent him some. And he was kind of mad about that. And he said he was going to send it back. And I said, if you send it to me, I'm just going to send it back. Over and over. I said, the money will disappear. Just keep it. And then he accepted it. So that's how self-sacrificing he is. He was going to send me the money back, knowing he was starving. And I don't know how to help him anymore. I don't know how to do anything really about this. It's so much bigger than me. It's so much more complex than just, get a job. That doesn't fix it. It's something I'm really, really gonna have to I don't even know. I don't even know if I'm supposed to learn more about it or do something about it or not do something about it or let it go. I don't know. Hey, that rhymed. I'm getting all of the things. But this is it. This is the end of the video, I guess. I hope it was educational in some way. I hope it's got you guys to think a little bit about something. I don't even know. And I hope to see you in the next video, and peace.